James, it's been 2 weeks since we recorded, and also this is the second time we've started the podcast tonight, and I'm already sick of doing this again. But I do have a question for you. It's not a very good question, but it is a question. The question is, how are you?
I could say a slur. We go for free if you want.
What?
I could say a slur and we go for free.
3 times. I'm not starting the recording 3. 2 is my limit. If you do anything now to break this recording, we don't record today.
It's already 10 to 9.
I know, this is just heartbreaking stuff.
We may fall asleep mid-podcast.
Fortunately, I haven't been to work today, so I have extra energy that I didn't ask for.
Why are you not going to work? Also, I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah, just stuff and things. The reason I've not gone to work is I sprained my ankle.
How did you sprain your ankle? Was it doing something adventurous? Were you saving a baby?
Yes, I was in the middle of a jungle somewhere out in the middle of nowhere.
Jungle land.
Yes, jungle land. I was in the jungle of jungle land, and this animal of jungle land was chasing. No,
the jungle animal of jungle land.
All right, so here's what happened. 2 doors.
Jungle animal in the jungle of jungle land.
Yes. 2 doors away from me is a corner shop. I was walking there to get a can of iron brew. I missed my footing on some broken paving and rolled my foot over and smashed myself into a wall.
Did anyone record it?
No. There was a fellow walking his dog.
That is the biggest disappointment I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I wasn't even doing anything. And I've walked to that shop hundreds of times. But
I've walked to that shop for iron brew hundreds of times.
Yeah, exactly. This exact scenario is played out so many times, countlessly.
When you walk in, do they automatically get iron brew out?
No, you have to go and get it yourself. But, the guy behind the counter does say, "Oh, no Kinder Eggs today if we don't pick up Kinder Eggs," because Charlotte asks for a Kinder Egg every time I go.
You'd assume for your kid, but no.
No, Charlotte likes Kinder Eggs, yeah.
I mean, Kinder Chocolate is good.
It is. Kinder Bueno is the superior choice, of course, but...
Yeah, it is, but... What is is Kinder the best chocolate?
That depends
Lindt
entirely.
Is pretty good.
I'd say I don't like Lindt. I don't like Thornton's chocolate.
I don't like Thornton's. I don't mind Thornton's, but the Lindt, I had a Lindt Easter egg and the little truffle ones in it. Oh god, they were so good.
You see, now,
I would punch a child for some of them.
I don't like Lindt because I ate so many of those Lindt Easter eggs. Not last year, the year before, because they were on a really good offer in Tesco. I think it was 3 for a tenner or something, and it was just such good value that we just bought loads, and then nobody wanted them, so I was stuck eating these Lindt Easter eggs well into November.
For Christmas 3 years ago, I got everybody an Easter egg. I got them other presents as well, but I went into the cash and carry near me and I bought a pallet, basically. I think it was 40 Malteser Easter eggs, like the little ones, for £5.
Nice.
I must have eaten about 20 of them.
Yeah.
I think I've still got a couple.
The small ones, they'll go down like a snack, don't they? They're a dangerous game, actually. The pound ones, 99p.
No. Slightly bigger than that. It's like when you get your Easter eggs, you get your massive ones that you'd buy for your people you like, and then you get the little ones you'd buy for a colleague if you had to buy one.
Yes, if you had to. If they made you with a gun.
Yeah, if it's like, we're going to get each other secret Easter eggs, which apparently some places do now. The ones that are like £3 normally, £3 or £4.
Hang on a second, I'm going to stop you there. There is now not only the irritating tradition of Secret Santa, but now we have to deal with Secret Easter Bunny as well.
According to the radio, yes.
Well, you know what? This is out of control. This is almost as bad as Valentine's stuff, from your secret admirer. Basically what that says is, here's a letter from a pervert who's been staring at you from afar and isn't brave enough to go up and ask you out on a date. And then Secret Santa is just basically, I don't know, there's nothing really for me to rant about here. I just don't like buying stuff for people. Yes, thank you. Forced capitalism.
I don't know, some Secret Santas can be fun though.
We do...
we did it at uni. We did it at uni one year. And because it was 14 guys, 12 guys and 2 girls, but they were manlier than all the guys were. They were in an engineering course at the end of the day. A practical engineering course as well. We did a Secret Santa, and I bought penis pasta for the person I got.
Nice.
Which is exactly what it sounds like. It's pasta in the shape of penises.
So it's not a penis made out of pasta?
Nope. It's just lots of pasta, like normal size bits of pasta, but they're just penis shaped rather than your normal pasta shapes.
When you want penis for lunch, yes, very good.
Yeah, there was so much just stupid stuff.
If you had meatballs with that, funny. Would you be eating cock and balls?
Don't get too excited.
I'm not. I'm asking for a friend.
You're asking for friends, yeah.
Do you believe me that I've got friends?
No, I know you haven't got friends. I'm the closest you have to a friend, and I hate you.
Yes, and I hate you too. What will you do a Secret Santa with? End of, thanks for listening, everybody. You should play the music now as I'm saying this, like fading in over it.
We don't have end music.
Did we not? Oh, I don't listen to it.
No.
We did when I edited.
Just end on the buys. We have intro music. Did we have intro music?
Yeah, because I used to
the
put
intro pre-made.
No. Back when I edited before you did any editing.
Didn't you do like one of them and Jay do the rest?
Yes, but then he followed the template because he's a good boy.
Okay.
Anyway,
yeah, no,
not important. What I was going to say was, no, it's just such poor production quality. This is why we don't have fans.
We don't need end music.
We don't need fans either. We just sit and talk here anyway. Yeah, we do a Secret Santa.
Pick up, Theo!
Oh.
No, you need to say stuff. We can't just giggle to ourselves for the next 5 minutes.
Sorry, I just didn't expect it.
This is Theo. He's fucking just shitting.
Oh God, now I'm laughing at Tio's expense instead of just at the. Oh, okay. Regain your composure, Peter. You're a professional podcaster. By professional, I mean an idiot. Okay, so we do a Secret Santa with Charlotte's side of the family, but the idea is that you can't spend more than £5, and it's got to be like a joke. It has to be a joke. It can't be a serious gift. You can't. But it's got to be thoughtful.
£5 is quite hard.
Yeah, I know. But get £5 or below. It's not like you don't have to. Yeah.
But like, I just generally like trying to find something for a £5. You can't even buy a normal size Easter egg for that.
Well, yeah, exactly. When I say normal size, that's normal size to us two fat guys. Like normal size, bigger than head.
I did not. No one bought me an Easter egg this year. I did get an Easter plane.
An Easter chocolate plane. Oh right, okay.
It's just like,
I thought you meant like a remote control plane. I was like, what sort of tradition's this?
No. Rather than get me an Easter egg, my cousin got me a chocolate plane.
Does your cousin still think you work on aircraft? Is that why?
She might do.
Yes, right.
I know it was a spaceship, sorry, not a plane. I'm looking at the wrapper for it now, and I'm realising, no, it was a spaceship, not a plane. I don't know, I just ate it.
I was going to say, yeah, chocolate's chocolate, isn't it? No matter what shape it comes in. I said, why don't we do chocolate Jesuses at Easter? Because that would surely make more sense.
I mean, you eat the body of Christ the rest of the year, don't they?
Exactly. It's like wouldn't be offensive. Like you go to communion and this bread is the body of Christ, blah 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 blah. And then if someone made a chocolate Jesus, they'd be like blasphemy. But yeah,
you don't get chocolate Mohammeds either.
Chocolate what?
Mohammeds.
Yes. The marketing writes itself for this basically.
Chocolate butter. Chocolate butters be really big. We should have chocolate butters.
Yes. Well, I mean, you could just scale up the Jesus and make it bigger.
Oh,
make it really tall.
No.
Did you not know Jesus was 18 feet tall? That's why all this chocolate is necessary. Don't you question me, Mr. Cadbury. I need all this chocolate.
You could wear a chocolate suit.
Wear a chocolate.
Eat your way out.
Like a chocolate mech suit. What the hell are we talking about?
You can tell we're fat, aren't you?
Just getting excited about the bigger and bigger proportion of chocolate.
After I got home from work today, this is really sad. I quite like to just sit in my car and not move. Nobody bugs me. It's just a nice quiet time.
I can relate, yes.
I was doing that, sat on my phone. It's not really quiet time, but I was on TikTok, of all fucking apps, just going through like food TikToks. There's just recipes and stuff, and good God, I got hungry.
It's a dangerous game to play. I remember I used to watch Man vs. Food. That always used to make me hungry.
That was a good show. But yeah, the thing with the food TikTok, because the videos are only like 8-9 seconds long, I haven't got to watch them actually make it. They just go, these are your ingredients, this is how you do it, end result. You're like, oh, that's good. It's another preamble you get on like fucking cooking shows and stuff. There's no bollocks. It's just ingredients, food, tastes nice.
I prefer that actually. Although, could you imagine if something like Kitchen Nightmares did that? It's like restaurant bad, now good, the end.
Just put the word "fuck" in the middle.
yeah. Just have him just shout "fuck," just to keep Ramsey in there.
Yeah, just keep Ramsey in there.
There's a YouTuber I've been watching. Why have I forgotten his name? There's a guy with a beard. I think it's Beard meets food or something like that. I'll get the name. Anyway, he basically does food challenges, like a Man vs. Food thing, but it's a YouTube series. And my God, if I watch it, I will immediately order pizza. So I can't. Yeah, I can't watch it unless I've been paid because I will just order so much food.
So if Charlotte ever fancies a pizza, she just put it on.
We don't ask each other if we want, like, if we want takeaway. Sometimes we'll just order for ourselves and not tell each other. It's just.
But yeah, Charlotte's a bit short as mum, so she wants a pizza, so she just puts that video and you're like, okay.
Yeah, if she wants a pizza, she'll make me crave one as well. Although, to be fair, just the suggestion of pizza makes me want one. Right now I want one because I've mentioned it. So, you don't have to try hard to get me in the mood for pizza. But if I'm watching, even if I've just eaten, like, we had a particularly large Sunday roast a few weeks ago, and I was like stuffed to the point, where you think you might be sick if you bend over. I was that full.
You genuinely have to have a dad nap on the sofa.
Yeah, I was that like semi-conscious full. That was at that extreme. The sort of full where you think like, why did I eat this much? I regret every decision I've made until this point in my life. And then 10 minutes later, I was watching Beard Meets Food, or I think that's his name, Beard Meets. It's killing me that I can't remember. I watch him regularly as well.
You keep talking, I'll find it.
No, it's okay. I'll find it now. Yeah, Beard Meets Food. And
I just opened YouTube and I got turbo noises.
No, not doing turbo noises. That was one. You get another one. Choose
YouTube
wisely when you use it. What?
YouTube made me do it.
YouTube did not make you do it.
It did.
Anyway, 10 minutes later, watching Beard Meets Food, I ordered you get the buy one get one free
You
offers
actually
and
order
stuff
a
like
pizza
that.
as well?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was just me you fancied one.
No. I actually ordered one, and I ordered like a lot of food as well. I ordered Papa John's do this particular deal called like Match Day deal, I think it's called, specifically for Match Day. I don't give a shit about Match Day. What the point is you get two large pizzas
day of the
and
week
two
is
sides.
Match Day?
I don't know. It's whatever day I opened the Papa John's app for that day, that particular day. Friday probably. Saturday. I don't know, because I've ordered it on a Wednesday, so I think
that's why I said typically it's Saturday.
I was going to say they have to cater for everybody. Like, what if you're a League 2 football fan? Your match isn't usually on a Saturday, then, is it?
No, it is.
Is it?
The only time really they're not on Saturday.
They're on Tuesday and Wednesdays as well.
Anything outside of the Premier League is on Saturday or Tuesday, with a 3 o'clock kickoff and a 7:45 kickoff. The Premier League, they sort of stagger them so you can get more of the games on TV, and then you get your FA Cup and all that lot as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally your Championship and below games are Saturday at 3. Is the
Championship and below games are by far more fun to watch.
Yes, I'm not a huge fan of the Premier League.
I'm not either, and I don't know why.
I like football.
See, contrary to popular belief, I actually like football. My agenda against football is the same as my agenda against salt and vinegar crisps, which stems from my inexplicable desire to not do things that my brother enjoyed doing when we were younger. So like my feelings towards football, my feeling towards salt and vinegar crisps, my feelings towards certain foods and types of TV show, things like that, are all geared at this point, and now it's just habitual, it's not for any reason, but they were all geared towards not doing things the same way he did when we were younger, and I have no idea why. I think it's just some sort of weird sibling thing.
Because you are weird?
Well, I am weird, yeah.
You're a weird, I said.
And it's only the last, 4 years or so that I've begun to sort of drop those habits now, so I will now actively purchase salt and vinegar crisps. I will now actively watch football matches, and I will discuss it with other people as well, rather than just saying, "Oh, football, fuck off," because it was just habit. I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem with hooliganism in football, but I have a problem with hooliganism everywhere. So that's not specifically geared towards football. So, and I would very often use that as an excuse, like not being a fan of football. They're all knobheads. It's like, well, people who play Skyrim are knobheads too. So why do I have a double standard there?
It is a minority that hooligans.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm well aware.
Massive minority. Most of us go to the game, enjoy it, and go home, and don't push over an ambulance or something stupid like that.
Cause bodily harm to anybody, yeah.
Yeah. One of my favourite things of football is the chants. Football fans are the smartest people you'll ever meet.
Disagree,
they
but
can
continue.
make a song out of anything.
Actually, come on, James. I can make a song out of any name.
But the fact that one person will think of the song, and within 5 minutes, 20,000 people are singing it.
Well, tell you what. I'm going to test my skills. Give me a name and I'll put it in a song. Right now, live.
Right, I'm going to give you a name of the team principal of Aston Martin Racing. He's called Mike Crack.
Mike Crack. Okay, you ready?
His name is
Happy
Mike Crack.
birthday to you.
I hate you so much. Imagine how fun school must have been for him.
Mike Crack, yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike Crack.
I know, yeah.
I can't do it.
I can't.
Oh, random things that have happened to me that are good. You know, a few years ago I bought a very expensive chair.
Yes.
I broke said very expensive chair. I broke the armrest.
Right.
I
That wasn't even that long ago, was it?
No, I broke the armrest like 18 months ago, but I've only got around to sorting it recently.
Oh.
And it turned up this week. But I contacted very expensive chair making people. It's Noble Chairs. I don't need to say very expensive chair. I contacted Noble Chairs.
Other brands are available for advertising purposes.
But buy a Noble Chair. This video is not sponsored by Noble Chair, but if it is, you know, hit us up. Yeah, because they're going to fucking listen. Nobody's listening.
They'll finally accept it.
But so I emailed them because it broke it ages ago. But I haven't had the money to buy a new one, a new armrest, and I finally had a bit of spare cash. I thought, wow, I'm going to fucking find out how much one is, because they haven't just got an order thing on their website. So I emailed them, and they said, "Hi, thanks for your email. Blah 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 blah. We're going to forward this on to our UK distributor for you." Because I contacted, I think they're Swedish, like whatever they are. I contacted just the head office, basically, by the looks of it. I don't fucking know.
The CEO directly.
That's who I bought it from. Noble Chairs. I didn't buy it from Overclockers, which is the UK distributor, but it got posted from Overclockers. But so they put me through to them, and the guy from Overclockers messaged me, and he's saying, just to confirm, it's a Noble Chair Hero black armrest is the question. It's the black and white edition, and it's the left armrest that has broken. I said, yeah, it's cracked down the plastic bit on the side. I can send you pictures if you want. I'm going to order a replacement. And they were like, oh no, there's no need for pictures or anything like that. Is your address changed, or has any of your details changed from the order? And I said, nope. Details are all the same. And they said, okay, it will be with you sometime next week. And I was like, how much is it? Oh, no charge. Your chair's still in warranty. I bought this chair like 3 years ago. I broke the armrest. It's not like it failed because of anything. I leant on it at a weird angle. Actually, I stood on it while trying to put some Christmas lights up. And broke the armrest.
Oh, right. So you got in touch with them to inquire about buying just an arm and not a whole chair.
They just the arm. Yeah, I didn't need a whole chair.
Right. I thought you were getting in touch with them for a replacement for free. I understand now. No. Right? But then I just realised that you wouldn't be able to buy the armrest from the site, would you? Because why would anybody want to do that, right?
Well, often you can buy parts for because the style chair it is
modular.
You know, there were different options for the armrest, and I had to bolt the armrest on, sort of thing. So I just messaged them, expecting them to say, "Yeah, sure, it's 30 quid, it's 40 quid." But the chair was £400, so it's 100 quid for an armrest.
Nice.
That's what I was expecting. Nope, just posted it. Turned up like 3 days. Turned up yesterday. Put it on.
Customer service is what that is.
Yeah, in all honesty, I don't know how long the warranty is. I think it might be 5 years. In all honesty, don't quote me on that.
I won't.
But it's definitely more than 3 years because I've had the chair at least 3 years now.
I like how you told me to not quote you on that, but as soon as we stop recording, I'll completely forget everything we've said for the last hour.
Other people might be listening.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, I always forget that there are other people. Hi, other people. I talk to James. I don't talk to you. I'm sorry. IEP, I know you're listening. Yeah, that's right.
T was listening. He's woken up now and he's fucking...
Exactly. Well, he might have gone back to sleep now. Best just check. No, check later.
How would we check?
How would we check? I don't know.
Hello!
I wanted you to do it. I can't make so much noise here. Malf, I know you're there.
Wanted to slowly work into it.
Will be listening.
And all the other people. No, we need to mention Clark Well because we forgot our last time we were mentioning people.
Yes, in fact, I'm saying this in capital letters with a space between them, and they're in bold. Thess. There you go. That's all.
I'm trying to find out how long the warranty is, but Overclocker's website is currently down.
Oh, dear me. Maybe everybody's armrest broke and they're all trying to do something about it. James, you asked me to remind you about the T4 van.
I absolutely detest the Transporter T4.
Can you tell us why?
car designed by Hitler. Well, the original was designed by Hitler. That's all it needs
really?
to be, isn't it? Yeah. Same with the VW Beetle.
I
No,
had no
not
idea.
designed, sorry. They were not designed by Hitler. They were commissioned by him. We'll start with the VW Beetle. The VW Beetle was designed by a guy called Ferdinand Porsche. Yes, that Porsche.
Oh, okay.
He designed the Beetle to be a utilitarian vehicle for the masses, to rival the Mini, basically, and the Fiat 500. Italy had the Fiat 500, the UK had the Mini, Germany wanted their own. They were going to make the Beetle. Nice, cheap, cheerful, easy to fix car you can buy parts for in your greengrocer. That was the idea behind these cars when they started. And he designed it, and to be honest, for the time, he designed an awesome car. They are very good little cars. I hate them now, but they are very good cars. And he was trying to get funding to build it, couldn't find funding. Hitler came into power, saw the idea, wanted everybody to have a car in Germany. That's why all the roads in Germany were built so good. They still have the autobahns and all that lot, because he wanted his people to get across the country well, and he wanted people to be able to all buy a good car. So they started designing the Beetle, or Ferdinand was to design the Beetle. Hitler put the money together, they started to make it. War was declared, and they didn't start making it until after the war, but that's where the Beetle came from.
It's really hard to be grateful for all those things he did that were actually beneficial to the country.
I know. That's the really stupid thing, is he did do some good things.
Yeah.
He's not a good person. Do not ever quote us thinking we were saying that.
No, but
there was a few
even the fact that he managed to fix Germany's economy as well, given the state it was in. Like, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't vote for him, but it was pretty incredible.
At the same time, when you see all the things he did and all the things he promised, you get why people voted for him. He didn't start
course.
going out like,
Yeah.
hey, Jews. It was, I'm going to fix Germany. And he did a good job for a bit until it got bombed into oblivion. But
That's
then
a bit of a tangent, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. So then from that, they decided that you needed to make a workhorse for the people. So they basically took the Beetle frame, got rid of the body, and put a bigger body on, which became the transporter, your VW bus, your hippie bus, all that lot. You know the style, don't you?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
That's the original transporter. It's not called the transporter, but that's a camper van. I couldn't remember the fucking word. But the VW camper was a bay window is a T1, a split screen is a T2, and then you get the T3, and then you now have the T4. We're up to the T6 now.
Yes.
But the T4 is ugly. Original camper is, I don't like them personally, I would never want to own one, but they're awesome looking things, and they proper embody the hippies and the 60s and surfers.
They're
and
sort
all
of
that.
iconic, aren't they, really?
They are iconic.
I don't like them either, but I respect it. You know, it's like...
Exactly. But the thing with the transporter is people seem to think that they've kept that iconicness, and they haven't. The T4 is an ugly box. It is a badly made ugly box that falls apart, rusts, and does not hold any fluid at all. You can literally, you pour oil in them, you get more on your feet than you poured into the engine.
Nice. Is that not just because you're inaccurate?
No, you put a litre into the engine, a litre goes into the engine, 2 litres come out the bottom.
Oh, no, hang on, this is brilliant.
You can solve the world oil crisis.
I was going to say...
Problem is it comes out dirty and contaminated.
Fabricated oil.
But they just absolutely leak everything. Power steering fluid, coolant, all of it. They just leak. Even no matter how much you look after them. But then the people that buy them are either 16 or 17-year-old stoners, thinking they're cool, that used to be. Or nowadays, it's midlife crisis guys thinking, yeah, I'm going to get surfing and I'm going to get a goatee and I'm going to be cool and all that lot. And you're not. You don't look cool. You look like an idiot.
You leave my goatee alone. Man.
These days, you can't pick up a T4 for like less than 15 to 20 grand for a decent one that's not rotten. That's a stupid amount of money for a shit van.
But these people don't work on them like you do. They don't have the inside information.
But they want to. That's the whole point. They buy them. Yeah, I've done this. I've done that. I painted that bit up. Yeah, but it's still fucking pissing fluid on my floor.
Oh my god, yeah, you'll get those people, won't you? Who'll just walk you around the car and stuff and tell you what they've done, and you're just like, I don't care, let me do the job.
But they're only transporter owners.
I bet they're not, though. I bet you've got people with Golfs who do it as well.
We do have some, not many, we do have some. Most of them, weirdly, we don't tend to get the younger people that are into it because they can't afford to have a mechanic fix their car because they spent all their money on the cool alloys that don't actually fit their car properly.
And getting the car lowered and then scraping it on speed bumps and then needing it to be fixed.
My car's lowered.
Is there a benefit to having it lowered?
Mine's not that low. In theory, yes.
Okay.
If you lower high quality components, something made by like a proper tuning company, and you have it set up properly, In theory, it could be faster around a track.
Okay, but there's no practical use to it.
Practical, no. But anyone who loads a car will never say there's a practical benefit to it. It's for performance.
Okay, but the performance that you get from driving around a council estate at 2 o'clock in the morning is not worth it, right?
When you come to race cars, if you look at a proper race car, we'll compare it to your car, especially yours because it's an ideal example. When you turn around a bend, it rolls a bit, doesn't it? And you can feel the whole car shifting over to the left or to the right, depending which way around the bend you're going.
Yes.
In doing that, the wheels can be lifting ever so slightly and you lose grip, not as much grip as you had. Now, when you're going 30 mile an hour around a bend at Sainsbury's, it's fine. That's quite quick to be going around Sainsbury's.
I was going to say, how big's the car park at Sainsbury's?
But in theory, that body roll has lowered the top speed you could take a corner at by 5-10 mile an hour.
Okay.
When it comes to a race car, that 5-10 mile an hour is a loss of speed, it's a loss of time. So that's the whole point of lowering and stiffen up the car so it can't roll as much. The downside is it makes it more uncomfortable. Also, personally, for me and a lot of people, they look nicer. The lower they are, they look nicer. They're more sleek, more aerodynamic, that sort of thing.
I don't agree though. I think it looks like more breakable.
Personal preference.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
Generally, they'll scrape on the floor. That'll break them. There goes to the point when you lower too far as well.
You become a street sweeper.
You can see the cars that are lowered within 5 mil of the ground, and they've got the wheels all angled and all that lot. Because in theory, again, camber makes a difference at a performance car. I'm not going to explain how camber works, but
camber is a cheese, right?
No, camber. You know when sometimes you see some wheels on cars and it looks like the tops are pointing in further than the bottom.
Oh yeah. Oh god, no, that's so ugly.
That's called camber. Now all cars have camber. They have a little bit of camber on them, and it does make a difference. I'm not going to explain how it does make a difference. And a professionally set up race car will have more camber than your standard road car will. But for some reason, these stance boys, as they're known, go too far. And they're just rolling on the edge of the tyre, and it's ridiculous, and I hate that.
It's a great way to just ruin tyres.
I don't like modifying for the looks. I say that and I have a car in a body kit. It looks aerodynamic. In theory, it is more aerodynamic than normal. I use it on the road. Don't at me. But people that do stuff like that, the stupid, which obviously just a bad idea putting the wheels like that, it just annoys me. I can't remember where we're going. I was ranting about the T4 and we're still fucking ranting about modified cars these days.
I know, but just on the subject of modifying for the looks, I can sort of understand the sort of expression, the personal touch and things like that. I get it, because everybody has the hobbies. You know, I talk shit about people's hobbies all the time, as if mine are in any way better, but they're not. You know, it's just me being a dickhead. I can sort of get it, but I can't see past, like, so I have colleagues who would do so, modifying cars, and I know exactly how much they get paid, and I know that they can't afford to do that and pay their bills as well. It couldn't possibly work out, and I just wonder, like, but at the same time, like, you've got to do what makes you happy, haven't you? You know, and that's what makes them happy. So I shouldn't really. Who am I to tell them how to live their fucking lives? But it just baffles me, because if I did that to my car, I'd be like, well, what a fucking waste of time that was.
Whenever used to have when I was living at home and I had car parts turn up, Mum was like, how much you spent on that car now? My argument was, I could be doing drugs.
You could be doing drugs, yes.
I could be spending all my money on drugs, or I could spend money on new car bits. And you can't, as a parent, you can't argue that. You'd rather your kids spend money on car bits than drugs, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, when I got my son into Warhammer, his mum's first reaction was, "Oh, for God's sake, that's so expensive," and I was like, "Yeah, but you won't have any money for drugs."
Exactly. That was always my go-to argument, and it still is. But the thing is a lot of modifying cars doesn't have to be expensive if you do it yourself. And that's what a lot of people enjoy doing as well, is working on their car. Personalising it, tweaking it, doing these little bits to make it nicer. A lot of people who are into there's some bits you can't do yourself. Like a friend of ours, or both ours, Pete, is getting his car resprayed. You can't do that at home. No, you can use a rattle can and spray it, but you can never get that finish that you want on a car. You
but it would cost you a lot more to get the gear together.
I mean, a decent spray boot's going to set you back 40 grand.
Yeah, exactly. So, you'd only do it if you had mad amounts of money, or you were planning on making some sort of business
years of training. Because again, you can have all the gear and no idea, which is...
That's me, basically. Look at me with my XLR microphone and an audio box and a green screen. You know, I have all the gear and no idea.
Yeah, the audio box is called an amplifier.
Whatever. It's a box that deals with audio-related things.
But, yeah, when it comes to the more sensible stuff, again, a lot of heavy side of engine tuning people can't do themselves. You need specialist equipment for. That's fine. But what a lot of people in the car scene hate are what we call credit card warriors. Are the people that, especially the ones that don't get me, they'll buy a new car and then modify the shit out of it. You're like, why did you've just spent £50,000 in total now. That's an insane amount of money, and you have no idea how any of it happened or how it worked. You haven't put blood, sweat, and tears into the car. There's a big saying in the car scene, which is you respect the passion, or you respect the effort, not the ride, or respect the passion, not the ride. You may not like that guy's car, but you can see on his fingers that he built it himself, and he spent hours and months and days, and I'm getting my scales wrong here, but you know what I mean, working in the car to make it exactly how he likes, and you respect the effort.
That's funny though. It's funny you should say this, because this attitude that you're displaying runs completely counter to a discussion we had, and it's weird for me to remember something we discussed on a podcast, but it runs counter to something that we had when we spoke about the diminishing returns of having lots of money. So you're now saying
that... Yeah, I know. I do get where you're coming from, but then if that guy's gone and spent 50 grand on his credit card, he likes his car, fair enough. But I don't respect the effort in it, because he hasn't put any effort in it.
Well, no, but surely he knows that, right? He didn't want to put the effort in, so why he spent the money.
No. The problem is you get people like that, and they act like they've done it all themselves. That's when it gets annoying.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
The people that act like they know all about cars, and you're like, and I've been at car shows before, and especially when you drive modified cars, you'll learn they break. It's a fact of life. For argument's sake, Toyota made my car incredibly reliable. I touched it and it's now hideously unreliable.
It's now unreliable because of me.
Yes, I'll accept that. Everyone who's got a modified, because people speak on modified cars are always breaking. The reason they're always breaking is because we push them to the limits. That's a normal car works at like I don't know, 80% of its capability. When you start modifying, especially for power and stuff, it's like overclocking a computer. You make it work at 110% of its ability. Problem is you work at 110%, you're going to break, aren't you?
Well, yeah. It's like overclocking your computer parts, I suppose.
Overclocking your computer, yeah, and just having a really manic day at work, and you go extra hard at work and all that. You get home and you're like,
yeah.
And you do that constantly for too long, you're going to get ill.
Yes, you are. I have made myself ill many times doing that. Do not recommend.
Which is why modified cars break a lot, and you'll see people say, oh, they're so unreliable. Yes, it's because we've pushed them too hard. And normally we've done it stupidly.
Which doesn't actually mean they're unreliable.
No, but it means you've made it unreliable.
Yeah, it's just you've worked it beyond its capabilities. It's not unreliable at all. It would do a job just
yeah, let's
as well
face
as
it, if you buy a small city hatchback and you try and drive across the woods in it and it breaks, that's not the car's fault.
Exactly, that doesn't make the car unreliable. That's judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree is what you're doing there.
Exactly, yeah.
But just before we carry on, I'm just going to make a quick note, because you reminded me I need to check my tyres tomorrow. I've not checked the air in them for a long time.
Check your tyres weekly, people.
Okay,
Same with your lights.
I check my lights quite often.
You should also inspect the tread. This is only valid to the UK. I don't know if the rest of the country run it differently. But in the UK, if you look at your tyre tread, where the bit that's cut in all the way around it, there's like little blocks that stick up every now and again. When it reaches the block, it's a good time to get your tyres changed. You're not illegal at that point. If it's in line with the block. But that block is set at 2mm. The legal limit is 1.6. If your tyre's at 2mm, please go get it changed.
Is there
Don't buy cheap tyres.
Is there
mid-range? Don't buy premium tyres. Don't buy budget tyres. Buy the mid-range tyre. Generally, something by Toyo or Prestivo is the best you can get. Not for you. You've got an off-roader. Yours is a bit different.
What are your thoughts on Part 1?
No, don't buy a fucking Part 1 tyre. What the hell are you on about?
They're a lot cheaper, and you can get a good few thousand miles out of them.
What is the most important thing in your life, Pete? You have two of them. When I say it, you're going to go, yeah, of course it is.
My children.
Your children. Now, when you're driving in your car, there are 4 points of that car in contact with the ground at all time. What are they called?
The tyres.
Now, do you want to rely your children's lives, because when you brake, when you turn, when you avoid an accident, we'll say, all that avoids
James,
accidents,
I'm just going to stop you with your analogy here, because the tyres that I put on my car are not the biggest threat to me and my children in the car. But the biggest threat to me and my children in my car is the fucking idiots on the road who are not paying attention while they're driving. The people who are going too fast in an attempt to impress their friends or something. Yeah, and the people who are getting into a car inebriated as well. So despite what I would spend on tyres, it is not going to save me from meeting my death on the road. And buying a Part 1 tyre from a trusted tyre dealer who wouldn't sell me a Part 1 tyre that was beyond its use, bearing in mind I can check whether it's good enough to use. based on a few things. First of all, the brand and
Some
the
things
quality
you
of the
can't
tread
check.
and things like
But
that.
no, let me fin. Exactly what you're saying. Let me
And
just
what if
say-
I buy a brand new tyre from a reputable tyre dealer that is a faulty one, and it then causes a crash? I run the same risk anyway. So I might as well save myself the hundreds of pounds and get a part one set of tyres.
Stop buying tyres that cost hundreds of pounds because you're buying the wrong tyres. They shouldn't cost that much.
I was just pulling a number out of my ass.
Toyo or Prestivo, then you're not going to spend hundreds of pounds. But yeah, so there's a matey driving towards you inebriated, and you see he's driving towards you inebriated, and you think, I'm going to brake suddenly and swerve to avoid this guy driving towards me, and you do that and your tyre fails, or your tyre doesn't grip properly.
But I run that
It's
risk
slightly
no
out of
matter
shape.
what tyre I've got.
It is a higher risk of a part one, because the thing that you don't know about part one tyres is the reason we get part one tyres is there's some countries in the world, I believe Germany is one, again don't quote me on this, where their legal limit on their tyre is 6 mil of tread. Ours is 1.6 mil. So they have to get rid of their tyre. Also, they have to change tyres. If you change one front, you have to change both fronts.
Yeah.
So say
It's
one
wise
gets
to
flat, you have
change. That gets recommended though, doesn't it? When you change your tyres.
Yes, it's
Because
not.
on my Fiesta,
if they're-
my front
but
left needed changing, and the guy said change both. It's bare.
See, this is a bit funny. It all depends how worn it is. In theory, in some countries, if you get a flat on one tyre, you have to change both. You could have put new tyres on, driven out of the factory, or not factory, out of the tyre yard, got a flat on that tyre, you have to change both of them. At that point, I wouldn't recommend it. If you changed one of them 6 months ago, don't need to change the other one. When you change it again, when you change the other one.
Is there like an
depending on your
average
etc.
mileage lifespan of a tyre?
No, it depends what sort of mileage you do.
Okay.
Driving around town is going to be a lot more taxing on a tyre than around the motorway. Because the motorway, it's just going round, there's no turning, there's no extra wear on it.
Is it not? Oh, I would have thought it was the opposite, because on the motorway you're going to drive more consistently, which would make the tyre
higher
hotter,
speed, but
right?
that tyre
Would
is-
that not make it hotter? Because
Not
of the
really.
because like
Not that,
friction.
it would
and
in
stuff
theory,
like that.
not massive amount of difference. But you say friction, when you're driving down the road, it's just going straight. When you're turning, it rubs sideways against it a little bit.
Okay.
That makes more friction than going straight. Same with, you have some cars, I had one car that had 80,000 miles in it, I never had to change the brake pads, because it was all motorway miles, I wasn't braking.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
But back to the part one tyres, so mate's driving towards you inebriated and all that, you got to swerve and all that lot. Sorry, no, we did that bit. It's the tyres. It's the part one. Get confused. It's the part one tyres. So that tyres come from Germany or other countries. So I could be wrong, but yeah, with 6 mil of tread on it, it should have had 12 when it was made or whatever. Has that tyre been in an accident?
I don't know.
Has the guy that had that tyre on his car done lots of wheel spins and lots of handbrake turns on that tyre and broken the carcass inside the tyre? You can't see, and when the tyre fits them, if it's only slightly starting to not crack, but obviously tyres are made out of lots of layers. If the middle of the sandwich is damaged, you can't see.
Right.
Is it worth saving 20, 30 quid for a potentially weak tyre? Which isn't going to last. That's the other thing, is when they're made at 12 mil generally. You buy a part one at 6 mil.
How many part one tyres do you think are sold in the country per year?
Quite a lot. I don't like them.
I know you don't like them, but
this is my reasoning. But then the other one, as I was saying, so say the brand new tyre is, last time I put tyres on my car, they were £65 each. The tyre place near us sells part ones at £30 each. It's about half the price. It's about half as worn. You're not actually saving any money.
Well, I saved money because I got 4 tyres for like 35
Yeah,
quid.
but you've got to change them earlier.
So
you have to, if you
still
buy
in-
one at 12,
it's
if you
just
buy one at 12 mil, buy one at 6 mil, it's half as worn. If it's half the price, you're still spending the same amount of per mil of tyre.
right.
You're spending the same amount. It's just less
Yeah.
at one initial burst, but over the
But less than
5
one
years
initial
you have
burst
the
is
car.
what I'm looking for. You know,
Why?
like because
Be a responsible car owner and put some money aside each month to run your car.
no. No, because and when you say be a responsible car owner and do that, I don't do that for anything that I own.
This is the problem. We people come to us for an MOT, and say yours is different because you've got a new car. But say you have an older car, a 10-year-old car. If you go for an MOT and the bill is £140, are you going to be annoyed?
No, because that's the price it's going to cost to fix the thing.
But people are like, oh, but I spent £140 last year. £140 is not bad for an MOT.
I was going to say actually, £140 quite cheap.
We had someone today whinging that they spent £140 on MOT on their 15-year-old VW, which is only 200,000 miles. And they were annoyed they had to spend £147, I think.
You see, like we
that was
pay.
including VAT.
I don't know how the thing. It's Charlotte's car. It's not mine. But the agreement she pays, it's quite expensive because she was.
Oh, you've got a service plan.
Yeah, we've got a
I'm
service
not a fan
plan,
of
but
them either.
also she was in negative equity from being picky about a car years ago, despite the fact that she's still not got a full license. So she pays over the odds for the car.
How many
as it is.
cars has she owned?
This is her third,
And not had a full license.
and not
Yeah,
had a full
okay,
license.
fine.
Yeah. But I mean, she shared it with her mum for a while, but the purchase was for her. She took the payments, things like that. Anyway,
It's for just those confused. It's not like she's been banned and has to get a license back. She's never actually had a full license.
no, she never even got around to taking a theory test. So it's not even like she's never been
Has owned
close.
3 cars.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it hasn't benefited myself, but
Opposed to Pete, who passed his test and then 10 years later went to drive and went, shit, because he hadn't driven in 10 years or whatever long it was.
that's correct. Yeah, I couldn't remember how to drive the car. So when people say it's like riding a bike, you never forget. That ain't true. Although the difference there being I'd done nothing beyond lessons, whereas like riding a bike, you do it for like weeks and weeks at a time as a kid, and then when you get back onto it, it comes back to you pretty quickly. So if I had a 10-year gap now, I'd be fine. But the 10-year gap from then definitely had an impact.
I have like
Anyway.
a week gap and I forget what my left foot does.
It does feel
I did
weird,
stall-
doesn't it? Like,
I did stall today at the lights because I forgot to put the clutch down.
I've done
Never
that.
owned an automatic. I just
No,
forgot to
I
put the
was
clutch
just going
down.
to say I've done that, and I've never owned an automatic either. But the point I was going to make was that we pay quite a lot a month. I think, I say we, Charlotte pays for the car and the service plan, etc. But I think it's something like £300 a month, which is a lot for the car that she's got.
Yes, it is.
But again, like I say, she had the negative equity from the whatever she got. I don't even remember what car it was, but she wasn't happy with it. Traded it in like 2 months after. I don't know why she wasn't happy with it. She didn't drive it. Traded it in 2 months after for something else, and then it was just a rolling problem since then, which we are trying to fix by paying for this car. Not the point. If we didn't have to pay the £300 a month, then my suggestion would be to save £100 a month of that for the yearly cost of maintaining your car, which that would probably be too much money.
That's what I try to do. I'm not very good at money, but like my sister does that. She'll put, I think it's £100 a month. She puts apart aside to a car, and that covers insurance, tax, servicing, MOTs, the lot. And then what she's got at the end of the year, she rewards herself with. Or she'll put it into savings, or I think this year she bought a holiday because it'd been a couple of years she'd been saving it.
Yeah.
Was getting like £300-400 a year and went on holiday with it.
Might as well, hadn't you? But if you put because obviously buying a car for a couple of grand and then not having the monthly payments to make on it is nice because you have the savings, but you do need to understand the fact that you bought a used car. The car's older. The car's going to need more work. Which is Well, I mean, it might not. It depends on what you've got. It depends, everything.
on the car, depends
Your
on how
mileage
much
may
you've looked after
vary.
beforehand.
Applies
Yeah.
here, doesn't it? So, but
That's why when you said how many lungs and tyres last, I won't give an answer. People say,
no, I asked if there was an average.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
We'll have people at work saying, "Oh, your tyres are starting to wear. How long will they last?" I don't fucking know what you do with your car. If you do burnouts everywhere, end of the street.
I didn't know if there was like an average that you worked off. That was all.
I think they say about 10,000 miles per tyre is the average. But it's such as I said, I had a set of tyres that lasted me probably about 50,000 miles, but it was all motorway. If you're doing lots of little city driving, if you don't inflate your tyres very often, that will have an effect on them.
Yeah.
If your tracking's out, that will have an effect on them. If you drive really aggressively, that will have an effect on them. It's such a... it also depends on what tyre you bought.
I drive like an old lady, and most of my miles have been racked up from going to Newcastle and back. So,
But the other one is you'll find some premium tyres, the top end tyres, don't last as long.
because they're designed for performance and not durability.
Not only that, or comfort or anything like that, but they make them a little bit softer, so they either grip better or they make less road noise or all that lot.
Yeah.
But the downside is they're softer; they don't last as long. Whereas your cheap tyres are so hard that they sound horrible. They have terrible grip and performance and all that lot, and they wear out really quickly because they're too hard. Which is why you buy
Mid-range.
Toyo Proxies or Prestivos.
Send me the names, because I don't know what you're saying and how to spell it or anything like that. Because I think, well, actually, we're coming up to the end of our 3-year agreement with this car, so it's not long until Charlotte gets to go car shopping again.
Oh God, did you lease it?
What? I think it's a lease. And at the end of it, you give it back or get a new car or something.
Yeah, I'm not even going to get into that.
No, I don't think it's a good way to do it either. But at the same time, if you're willing to make the monthly payments and you're not willing to deal with a used car, then it is a way of doing it, isn't it?
Just buy a car on finance, and if you want to change it after 3 years, sell the car.
But I know, but people don't. It removes selling a car is a pain in the ass.
Okay, so you buy this car, you keep it for 3 to 5 years, and then you know what? I want a new car. You go to if you're buying this often on cars, you tend to be probably buying newer cars. You take it to the guy you bought it from, and you part exchange it. And they go, okay, we'll give you £5,000 for that car, and you go, okay, I've spent £6,000 on this car. I've had it for 3 years. And it's still worth £5,000 because I bought a good car and I've looked after it in this time. That's a good deal. I would get more money if I went to fucking Philip Schofield on We Buying a Car, or I'd make even more money if I bothered to set myself on Facebook. But this guy's offered me £5,000 and it's taking me absolutely no effort.
But what if you want a brand new car?
You still part X a car against it.
No, I know, but if you want a brand new car every 3 years, you might as well lease it, right?
Well, then have more money.
Well, that's
and buy them.
Well, we're not struggling with the car payments, is what I'm saying. Like it's not.
The problem with leasing. My problem with leasing is what you're doing is you're paying the depreciation on that car. That's what you pay.
Yeah.
So, but if you look at the statistics, say, well, for argument's sake, we'll say a Golf, and we'll call it £20,000. If you bought this Golf brand new at £20,000, if you cash bought it at £20,000, it'd cost you £20,000, and then you're on the road.
Yes.
You decide to lease it.
Yes.
No, sorry. You decide to hire purchase it and finance it, and they're going to charge you 10% for the privilege of that, for lending you the money and the loan and all that lot. So you pay £22,000, and 5 years down later, you've still got the car.
Yeah.
3 years later, so you've still got the car. Same with both. So both of those, you've still got a car. Now you lease it. They'll lease it to you for it's a £20,000 car. Right. For the privilege of leasing it, we're going to charge you a bit less interest. We'll charge you £21,000. And you go, okay, fine. And so you lease it for 3 years. Now, after this 3 years, the one you cash purchased is worth, again, random numbers, £17,000.
Yes.
So that's what all of them should be worth. They've all been looked after the exact same condition. So in theory, you've lost £3,000. The one you financed, you've lost £4,000 because you had to pay the interest.
Yes.
The one you've leased, they've given you a guaranteed value of the car when you first took out the lease, and they did it at £15,000. So it's cost you £6,000.
Right.
You spent more. You spent twice as much as if you just cash bought it. Or
well, hang on, let me just stop you right there.
Or 40% more if you'd hire purchased it, because they put their guaranteed value lower than the car's actually worth. Because then what the dealer does is he takes that car you just sold him, and he's told you it's worth £15,000, and he's just gone and sold it for £17,000 because that's what they're actually worth.
Yes, but let me just stop what you're saying.
So he's made £8,000 off you.
Yeah, let me just stop what you're saying though. Okay, so the car that I don't know what the market price of a Suzuki Vitara is. I don't care. But the current agreement that Charlotte's paying is about £300 a month. Okay, I think it's a little less than that, but I'll round up to 300 for the sake of maths.
For the sake of argument.
Yeah. Now at the end of the 3 years, she will have paid £10,800.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she will give it back. What?
I can't be bothered to do the math, but yep.
I think I'll do the math later. I think it's just under 11,000. I'm assuming the car's worth upwards of that.
Yeah, it's 10.8 if it was £300. I just did the calculator.
Okay, right. Oh, good. That was quite quick maths for me. I'm quite proud of myself.
Yeah, that was very good. I'll give you
that. So she paid about £10,800 by the end of the 3 year agreement. She will then give the car back and get another new car and continue to pay the same, or pay a bit less, or pay a bit more, depending on the car she wants. Yes. Mm-hmm. But that means that at the end of the 3 years, she still spent less than the market value of the car for the privilege of driving the new car.
Yes, but in that time, that car has lost 3,000, or say it's 11 grand basically that you're spending on it.
Yeah.
That car's only actually lost 7 grand of value. So you spent 4 grand more for the effort of not having to sell a car.
But has she spent 4 grand
but
more?
Also,
because if she'd have bought the car herself, it wouldn't have cost 10,800. It would have cost more than that.
No, it would have cost more than that, granted, but you'd still have a car.
She still has a car anyway.
This is the other problem with leasing that people don't realise, is you put a £5,000, or no, probably not that much, you put a £2,000 deposit down when you leased it.
We didn't put any deposit down when we leased it.
You continued to lease from the previous one? Put a deposit down, you always have to put a deposit
Oh, yeah,
down.
sorry, yeah, it would have been the previous car, yeah.
The previous car. When you first started, whatever lease it was, when you first started, you'd have to put a deposit down.
Right.
Now, so you lease these cars. Now, if you decide you don't want a Suzuki next,
Yes.
you don't get your deposit back, and you have to give a deposit to the different dealer. Say you decide to get an Audi, so you've also lost the £2,000 deposit.
Well, we would probably just stick with Suzuki's. We don't want an Audi.
You would, granted. So if you're happy and you will stick with them constantly, you don't lose that. But people that want to change cars every year may want
Even
to
if
change
we'd
the
lost
model
the
of car.
£2,000 deposit, that would take the price up to 12,800 for that car, yeah? So incorporating the 3-year payments and the £2,000 deposit, that would take the price up to 12,800. I'm going to assume that the market value of the car was like, what, 18,000? Maybe a bit more.
Well, we'll say 22 probably.
Say 20. Okay, so 22,000.
So it'd cost you an extra £10,000
to buy it, yeah. Over the 3 years.
Okay, so
so the 3 year total. So the privilege of having that car for 3 years from brand new, instead of paying 22,000, now only costs 12,000. And then after the 3 years have passed, when it starts to need an MOT and generally parts start to go wrong, we get to give it back, get a new car at this exact same rate of payment, and then spend another 3 years with another car for the reduced market price.
Okay, or hear me out. What you can do,
Okay.
is you hire purchase it, because no one's got one. Very few people have got £22,000 to go buy a brand new Suzuki car.
Yes,
they do.
they
They're sensible enough to not buy a Suzuki Grand Vitara.
Hey, it's been a good car.
They're okay. They're not bad cars. I'll say that. I'll give you that. They're annoying to service, but that's because Suzuki are stupid. You don't worry about that. So say you went and got a loan for £22,000 for it.
Yes.
So your loan's 24,000, we'll say.
Yeah.
After the end, at the end of your 3 years, you would have spent £12,000. So you're currently at £14,000 more than you would have spent. Sorry, £12,000 more than you would have spent. Sorry. In theory, you spent an extra £12,000, haven't you?
How have I spent an extra £12,000?
So you got the car for 22, but you've only spent £12,000 on it. We said, didn't you?
Yes.
If you've gone and bought it brand new at 24, by the time you put the interest in and all that lot, you've spent £24,000. So it's
right. Sorry.
more than
Yeah.
you have spent.
Sorry. Yeah. I get what you're saying now. Sorry. Yeah.
So you've done that. Now, at the end of the 3 years, if you go to WeBuyAnyCar.com and put in your reg, I bet they'll give you more than that £12,000. I bet they'd give you 16 probably.
Right.
So you end up actually having to spend. So you've now. So say you literally do your 3 years, then sell the car.
Yeah.
You've only spent £8,000.
So
You've saved £4,000.
yeah,
£4,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah, but then what
You
I have
spent
to do?
50% more on it because
but,
you didn't have to phone Philip Schofield.
No, but then what you have to do is you have to sell your car to We Buy Any Car, get the money off them.
Easy to
then
do.
you have to get the money off them. Then you have to pay off your loan. Then you have to use the money left over from paying off your
Generally,
loan to put
a
down
lot
a
of car
deposit on
loans-
another car, and that.
Generally, a lot of car loans are 3 years, so you've probably already paid it off anyway.
If I've already paid it off, if I've already paid £24,000 for the car, and then I want to get another one, you see, you're just adding extra steps.
You're adding extra steps, but saving £4,000.
Well, am I saving £4,000? Because there's no guarantee that what if something happens to the car that reduces the value of it in that time as well?
The only thing that's going to happen to it is you crashed it.
Yeah, but then the insurance premiums are going to go up as well. So
say
not only have I
something
spent £24,000 on a loan.
Yeah, but if you crash the lease car, your insurance premiums still go up.
Yeah, but I
It's
don't.
the same,
What
your
you're
premiums
doing
go up by the
to
same
me,
amount.
what you're saying, it isn't actually adding up to me.
What
Like,
extra
I
step
don't
is
see
you need to
where
phone
I'm
Philip Schofield?
I don't see where I'm saving money by getting more value for my car back when I sell it to someone, but I'm also saving money by not paying the full market value of the car for having it for the 3 years and then getting another car for the same deal.
The difference is because basically you pay for the convenience.
Yeah, that's what I want, the convenience. That's what I'm saying. I've got the convenience of it all.
But is the fact it's going to take you maybe, we'll say, half a day's more work.
Yeah.
Is that worth £4,000?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not. And you know
It
it's
is.
not.
It is worth that.
£4,000.
Yeah, because it is. Because I don't think it's as simple as you're making it out to be.
It is.
And I don't think it's as guaranteed as you're making it out to be as well. I don't think when you say I guarantee that they'll give you more than that for the car, I can't take your word for it. I don't know what's going to happen with the market value of that specific car at any given time. Whereas with the current agreement, it's all signed to a contract anyway.
Have you looked at the small print?
Yes, actually, I spent a long time reading it.
Because if there's something, if the car market crashes for whatever reason, basically it's guaranteed value of, for say 18 grand, whatever they're guaranteed.
The small print is all governed by something that's reiterated a lot of times in the contract. If we give the car back, that is the end of everything.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm denying. But they guarantee the value. Yours we worked out there would have been 12 grand. It's probably guaranteed that. That guarantee isn't actually a guarantee.
No, because it depends on the market value of the car.
It's a guaranteed asterisk value.
Yeah, because it depends on the market value of the car when we come to the end of our agreement. But that doesn't change the fact that if we come to the end of the 3 years, we give the car back, there are no further payments to be made. That's the end of the contract, and we walk away free.
What they offer you
is convenience.
Basically what the market value of the car is, minus about 20% for all the fees and stuff.
Right.
You can save that 20%.
I don't care about saving that 20%.
It's a lot of money, and this is the thing.
No, it's not a lot of money, James, because we've already established that I would have to take out. First of all, be approved for a 24 grand loan for it.
But you're securing against a car, which is a lot easier to do than most loans.
Right.
You do a car finance package. It's not like you just go to the bank, say I want 24 grand, and then go buy the car. You go to the dealer and go, I'd like to hire purchase the car, and they secure it against the car. I don't think the deal that we have is as bad as you're making out. The only difference is you need a higher deposit.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Okay, so there you go. You've already made one problem out of it.
It's not a huge amount higher. It's not 4 grand higher. Put it that way. But then, so say you lose 4 grand every 3 years doing this.
Yeah.
I know people that have been doing this now for 20 years nearly.
Yeah. 4
grand every 3 years over 20 years is a lot of money. I can't do math. I'm not good at math.
It is a lot of money, but do you know what happens?
You're talking into £30,000, £40,000.
Okay, so just I'm just want to explain what happens to that extra 4 grand a year. Would you look around the room that you're sat in right now and tell me?
Oh yeah,
how many items are in your house now? You're
talking to a guy who didn't pay for his car; he got it for free.
No, I know. I don't mean car related. I'm saying how many items are in your room now that are worth more than £100?
Room now?
Yeah.
Are we including computer stuff?
Yeah, everything.
Right, so the computer, 2 screens, the microphone, the 3D printer, the saxophone, the violin, and my bed.
Okay, but now, judging off some of the things that I know the prices of there, you're already up to about £9,000.
Yeah, because I spent too much money. No, I'm not that high.
Well, your computer's, what, 2,000 when you bought it or something like that? Including your peripherals?
Including my peripherals. Yeah, you probably. My keyboard's more. No, my mouse isn't keyboard. His headset was as well. Yeah, you're probably just about 2 grand.
Right, 2 grand for that. Right, your violin and saxophone are going to be pretty pricey.
Violin was 110, and saxophone was 220. They're beginner ones.
Oh, well, fair enough.
We'll say 2.5. We'll say 2.5 grand.
We're at 2.5.
You had the 3D printer. You had the 3D printer in.
That was about
2.6. You had 120 quid for that, and you had the bed in. My bed was 400. So at 3 grand.
3 grand. Okay.
So all the stuff that gives me
hang on
joy
a second. Yeah.
more than your less than your save. Your
hang on a second. We're not finished yet, James. What's in your pocket?
Right now,
it might be on your desk at the minute.
This is my phone. Yeah.
Yeah. And are you on a contract, or did you buy the handset outright?
This one I bought outright.
Wow. And how much does that cost?
$540.
$540. Right. Okay. Cool. Now your AirPods.
Which ones?
Exactly. How much have you spent total on your AirPods?
In total on all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. I bought 3 pairs. 360. About 500 quid. Fucking hell. Don't make me say that.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that if I did things your way, bearing in mind it's far less convenient, then I would have more shit lying around the house that I don't need because I will have just blown the extra money, yeah?
Yeah, granted,
So I might
it's
as well just blow the extra money on a convenient car deal because it's going to cost. It's going to cost us 10,800 every 3 years, which broken down per year is not that high of a cost for the car.
It's so much money for a thing with 4 wheels. This is coming from a car lover.
I was going to say this is a guy who's modified his car. How much have you spent in yours in total?
See, in all honesty, for me, the idea of new cars is ridiculous to me. Why on earth someone would buy a new car? I don't get it.
That's it. We're not buying a new car, are we? I agree with what you're saying, but we're
even
not
then,
paying
even
that
leasing
much
it,
for
you
a
still
new
pay
car.
the depreciation.
We're paying the depreciation, but we're not paying the total price of that new car. So we will have it for 3 years. It will cost £10,300. Whereas if I bought it outright, it would cost £20,000, and then I would get a new car.
If you leased a 6-month-old one, it would cost you 8,000, or maybe not 8,000, but it would cost you less than the 10,000. Because the moment it leaves the forecourt, it's lost £1,000 in value, £2,000 in value.
Because it suddenly becomes a used car. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyone who, unless you have a silly amount of money, if you go to a dealer and buy a brand new car, I think there's something wrong with you. Just buy a 3-week-old X Demo. A customer of ours just bought an X Demo car. It's 12 weeks old. It has 56 miles on it. It was bought by VW. Bought it down to the VW dealership to use it as a demonstrator. So when people test drive, that's the one they test drove. So it has every single toy possible on that car. It is the highest of specs VW Touareg can be. A brand new VW Touareg in that spec range is £65,000. They paid £40,000 for it.
That's still a lot of money for a car.
It is a lot of money for a car, but it's 25 grand they've saved for 56 miles on the car.
But currently, we will pay together.
Yes, but obviously
£10,800 every 3 years. It's broken into easy payments.
Yeah, okay, granted, this is different, but you can lease 6-month-old cars, don't forget. You
Yeah.
can do what you do on a second-hand car.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go 50,000-mile-old second-hand car, is what I'm saying. You can go 100-mile-old second-hand car. I think they may even be leasing this Touareg. But I'm just saying, the fact that it was 25 grand cheaper. Because
That's a heck of a saving. I can't argue with this being a heck of a saving.
And I said, a normal Touareg, if you wanted to go buy a normal Touareg, they're 48 grand. So this is cheaper than the base model one. But it has everything you can think of. All the stupid fucking toys you don't need in a modern car.
Yeah. Ours
it's got
is very
soft
basic.
closed doors.
Soft close? What? Like toilet seat soft close?
More like your kitchen cupboard. You know when you go to slam a kitchen cupboard, it stops like an inch beforehand and then closes itself gently?
Oh, I see. The ones that you can't have a tantrum with. I hate those.
Yes, these car doors have it.
You know, that's the same reason I don't like mobile phones being touchscreen when you want to hang up angrily. You can't just slam it down on the receiver anymore. You've got to find the button. And the harder you press it, the less likely your phone is to recognise it as an actual press because they have that sort of, accidental contact thing.
I've got a stupid good joke on this. There's a man sat there, and he sat just watching TV and all that lot. And his daughter sat to the right of him on her iPad. And next to her, there's a newspaper. Dad looks over and says, "Do you hand me that paper, please, dear?" She goes, "God, Dad, you're so old. Just use an iPad." So she passes his iPad over. So he grabs the iPad and smashes it against the wall and kills the spider and hands it back to her.
That's see. We
I just suddenly thought of that joke and it's brilliant.
You know what? Actually, just and we're coming time to wrap up. But just on the subject of phones, is Charlotte came to the end of her contract. It was time to upgrade. Blah blah blah. And I was trying to explain to her that you don't have to upgrade. You can start just paying for your data stuff. You could just go to a SIM-only contract and you can make a lot. Yeah, because she's been saying for a while that she's got a Samsung S10 or something I don't know what they're called. She's not particularly old, and she doesn't do a lot on it either. So it's not like it's been worked out. When if you do a lot on your phone and your battery starts to drain really quickly after a while, she doesn't have that problem because her phone doesn't get used so much. So everything's absolutely fine with it. So I was trying to tell her, you don't need to upgrade. You can save money. Or if you do upgrade, because she was been complaining about the price, then go for a cheaper phone, go a cheaper brand, stuff like that. So I was talking her through some of the cheaper options, and then she immediately saw is it this new Samsungs that fold, and the screen folds?
Yeah, I think it's called the Fold.
Is it? Oh, well, there you go. That's a nice, easy name. Because folding is a novelty now, James. Remember when flip phones were like... You know,
You said about hanging out the phone. There was nothing more satisfying than clicking a flip phone shut.
Yeah, exactly. Because you just sit there clicking it for ages, wouldn't you, as well?
But you're on the phone to someone. You're, oh, fuck off, and snap.
Yeah, slam. Exactly. Perfect. Because it knows to hang the call up as well. Yeah. We just remove all these stress relief things. That's why everyone's so stressed these days. We're taking away our stress relief from small activities like crushing spiders with iPads and hanging up the phone.
I got a good bit of stress relief last week, actually, at work. I forgot to say about on this front is one of the printers on one of our computers has been playing up fucking ages, and it got to the point where I had enough, and the boss was in the other room and he heard this very loud bang, and me walk past with just a plug in my hands. No lead on the plug, just the end of the plug, because my cigarette stuff was on the other side, so I wasn't going to have a cigarette. And he was just like, what happened? I just looked at him, need a new printer. And he went next door, and there was ink on the wall. I just smashed it into the wall and went, nope, I've had enough of this fucking shit. Walked past, and I went, I need a new printer. And he came back to it, so there's no fixing it then? I went, not now. Okay.
Oh dear. Printers are frustrating though. Who designed printers to be so hard to use?
I don't know. It shouldn't be that complicated.
No, it shouldn't, should it? And they're the most unreliable and cryptic technology we have. Like, I don't think there's anybody who can be a printer specialist.
So he's been mentioning for ages about how we need to get a new printer, and I finally managed to cook. I think I had split pins jammed in the back and all sorts, trying to make this stupid thing work still. And yeah, it's got to the point where I'd run out of tricks and turning the computer on and off again, and all that lot, and I'd given up. And so he kept saying, we'll sort a new one out. And it's fucking broken, I'll sort a new one out. And I've got it working again because we need it desperately. It's what prints off your brake test on the MOT, so it's vital for an MOT.
Yeah,
we can't do them without it. And yeah, I knew I found out we finished the MOTs for the day, and so I was trying to get it to coax it back to life. I just smashed it off the wall, and PC was just down the road, and I told him what one to go buy.
Fair enough.
So just go buy a new printer.
And in 2 years you'll have exactly the same problem because
this printer, I put this printer in when I started working there. That was 3 years ago, so it's only lasted 3 years. But it's probably printed. What, last year we did 2,500 MOTs. It prints 2 sheets per. So it did 5,000 sheets last year.
Minimum,
yeah, including multiple retests. Any retest would have to have an extra one done. So yeah, it's probably done 7,500 sheets last year. It's been there for 3 years, so it's done 22,000 sheets of paper. It's done well, considering it's only like a 30-40 quid Epson thing. It's not like a particularly business use one. So it did its time, but yeah, it's done its time, and it didn't feel a fitting end.
I was going to say, actually, the only printer I've come across that's been reliable is the one we use at work, and I looked at how much it would be to buy one. They're like £900. That's the price you have to pay to get a reliable printer to work.
But they're not reliable.
No, that one is though. That's the thing. It's been there. It's been there at least 12 years.
Oh, okay.
So it was there before I got there.
When I worked in the office at Flyway, they had one of the proper printer copier faxer things. This thing could put staples in booklets for you and all sorts.
No way.
Yeah.
I want one of those.
Books. That always broke down, and I think I looked at that once, and that was like $250,000 or something stupid like that.
Maybe not
that high.
Jesus.
It might not have been that high, but it was definitely over 100,000 for a printer.
That's mental though for what it is. All right, it's time we wrapped up, James. So
we never got to the other story I told you to remind me of.
Well, we'll just have to save it for next time, won't we?
No, because I'll forget. It's not actually that long a story.
Okay, go on then.
We'll end on this. It's not a happy story.
Oh, great.
You know the peanut butter jelly time video?
Yes, the dancing banana.
It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter. Yeah, that one. The guy that wrote that was someone called Julian Fillerman, I think it was.
Okay.
Would you like to know how he died?
Well, it's news to me that he died, but go ahead.
He died in an 11-hour standoff with police.
What?
An 11-hour gun battle standoff with police. The police decided to get his brother-in-law in to try, like, shouting over a megaphone. No, he recorded a video to send to him to try and convince him to, put the guns down. We could talk about this. We could sort it out properly. His brother was Snoop Dogg.
What?
Yes. I heard this story and I thought that can't be true. And I checked on Google, fact-checked it, and there's New York Times stories on it and all sorts. This is a legitimate story.
What the hell?
His brother was Snoop Dogg. He died in a standoff with police.
What the fuck?
It's just so unexpected, isn't it?
I don't know what to do with any of this information. First of all, that song, I haven't heard it since I was 14 years old or something. It was Snoop Dogg's brother. What the hell? Why was nobody talking about that back
brother-in-law.
then? Brother-in-law. Well, even so, why was nobody talking about that ever? And how did he end up in a gun battle with the police?
I don't know what he did, but...
Well, obviously he shot some police towards the end, right?
I don't know.
Well, he shot at some police, at least.
From what I was reading, that it said that he either died from a gunshot wound inflicted earlier, or it may have been self-inflicted wounds.
Right.
But yeah, I read that and I said I saw a video of it and I thought, that can't be fucking true. After doing some research, as far as I can tell, yes, it is true. And it's just so out of left field, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. I don't know. When you said remind me of the peanut butter jelly time thing, first of all, I forgot, which is why the podcast is so long. But yeah, I didn't expect that. That's so. Everything about that is so random.
That's James's fun fact of the week.
Yeah. I didn't want to end on that. I was going to ask our listeners to get in touch with us about the haunted printer stories and stuff like that, but never mind.
All right. So, listeners, can you get in front of any fun, not just printer, but technology stories, something like that, when you've just had enough and thrown it, or
if it's done something random, very questionable to you,
just like you don't have no understanding of what the fuck happened, but it worked. Stuff like that is great. And if you've got any other weird stories from YouTube history like that, because that was just, when I saw that, it was just brilliant. That's what we're requesting. We may get some people calling, Tia, wake up!
Oh, for God's sake, that was really loud. Okay, this has been Words from Our Mouths.
Hate me by the end of this, isn't
yes,
he?
He's going. Yeah, but he'll still come back. He's a glutton for punishment. This has been Words from Our Mouths. I've been Pete. That's been James. You can like, subscribe, comment on YouTube. You can do whatever you do on Spotify. I don't know. Do you press a rating or something? You rate us. Rate and download. Check us out on Twitter for when we don't post stuff. I think
what is our Twitter handle?
It is @OurMouths. I've been doing my research.
Look at this.
Yeah. I don't know our TikTok handle.
I believe it's @OurMouths.
All right. Okay. There you go. @OurMouths as well then. I don't think we frequent any of the social medias.
No, we do have a link tree, which is
you have a link tree.
linktr.ee or linktree basically /Waffam.
There's going to be stuff in the description, or you know what? The best place to get in touch with us is our Discord server. So if you're listening on a Spotify, head over to YouTube, find this particular podcast you've been listening to.
It should be in the Spotify description as well.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Okay, cool. Just scroll down. Scroll down. Click links.
Things, Apple, Google, all those lot. It should be on those things.
Yeah, come and join the Discord. We've got a little section. The Discord's for a lot of things. There's a specific Words from Our Mouths channel. You can chat to us there. You get direct contact with us. We're there every single day. So, you know, if you want to shout abuse at us or tell us to stop and want to tell us directly to stop, that's the best place to do it. Anything else, James? Death threats. Yeah, we like death threats. All right. Well,
thanks for listening.
Yeah. See you next time.